Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you, and I'm excited for today's show. We have two powerful women joining us that have so much wisdom and insight to share. They both have books that they're bringing forward in September, so you'll want to be listening for that because you'll get to hear about it first here, and certainly mark those dates on the calendar. And we're going to be focusing on embodying grace, moving into balance with purpose, intention, and love. Doesn't that sound wonderful? I got excited as I was preparing for our time together today and really leaning into the energy and the feeling of embodying grace and breathing in, moving into balance, and really bringing purposefulness, mindfulness, and intention to all that we do. So I hope that feels delicious and wonderful and just really grounding to each of you as you hold those words for a moment and really lean into embodying grace, moving into balance within purpose, intention, and connecting more fully and deeply with the energy of love. How wonderful to take a moment and focus in on these words, on the emotion and the feeling behind them. One of the things I'd love for us to do when we connect in is to really choose to remove all the distractions around us, even those kind of swirling around in us. This time together is an opportunity for you to choose to be present, to be poured into, to be filled up. You don't have to be doing anything. You get to breathe, receive, be filled up, encouraged, and empowered. So honored to have this time and space with each of you today. And I ask and invite you to take a breath, a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes, even wiggle your toes to make sure the air, the breath, the oxygen is getting everywhere through your toes and your fingertips. As you're breathing in that beautiful oxygen, feel it supporting all of you. As you breathe out, release all that no longer serves. As you do that, it creates room for more. How beautiful is that? And as we focus in on our breath, it helps us not only become present, but reduce stress levels, reduce cortisol levels as we do that deep breathing. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as you keep breathing, take a moment and ask, what is it you need today? What is it that will encourage, empower, support you? What do you need real time to embody grace, to move into balance, to move forward with purpose and intention and love? What do you need as you hold those words? What is it that your heart is whispering to you, that it is sharing with you? Perhaps it's a reminder, clarity on that next step, clarity on what you need. So let's take a moment, just receive, put both hands on your heart. Sometimes that helps as you're breathing, connecting in. And what is it that you need today? Notice not how, just what. Identifying what is it that you need today and are willing to receive, because you absolutely have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath. Open up your eyes. Become fully present and see what it is that bubbled up, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. In fact, I invite you to write it down. Writing it down actually connects your hand and your heart, your body and your heart. It helps bring it into reality, so it's not just swirling around in you, but you're actually co-creating it, identifying it, and you can keep it in front of you, top of mind, as we go through our conversation today. So as you're writing down your thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our beautiful guests and see what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen and see what this brings up in you, what it adds to what was laid on your heart. So with that, Dr. Lori, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Well, first of all, I love these grace breaks through the day, and I'm asking for clarity, and it's already unfolding.
How beautiful is that? And I love that grace breaks throughout the day. Beautiful. I love it. Love it. Janet, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, I'll be honest. I am affected by my environment. And it's been kind of cloudy and rainy here in Nebraska. And so I'm a solar babe. So I like to go outside and sit in the sun and get my vitamin D, and I like the warmth of the sun. And so if I can have access to that, it really makes my day.
Beautiful. And I love that you know that and you embrace it when that sun breaks through, that you go out and you soak it up. And here in California, we are having a beautiful sunny day. So I am Northern California. I am sending some of that over to you energetically through our conversations. I hope you feel it shining down on you.
Oh, yes. Today I do. But you're right. When the sun breaks, I'm outside.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And listeners, I love what our two guests have shared. So the asking for clarity and receiving and having that just flow right together as we ask and receive. And then I love this knowing, what serves us, what helps support us, and then building that into our life, creating room and space for that. So whether it's sun and getting that vitamin D, or maybe you like the clouds and the gray. I know I actually really like rain. Somehow that feels so nourishing to me and cool, and I love the feel of it. So we're all wound and made so differently. So I love embracing the unique and wonderful ways that we're made, and then building that into how we're navigating our days. I find that helps me stay nourished and on purpose and bring those intentions forward. So as we go to our first commercial break, I encourage you to stay present. Resist that urge to go cross things off the to-do list. This is your time. Really be present, listen, receive. Maybe jot down a few things that are coming to your heart and spirit that support you, that nourish you, that help you. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, Play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you.
Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141.
You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. The opportunity to slow down and be present, a grace break, as Dr. Lori shared, a moment and an opportunity for you to really be still, to listen, to receive, and to breathe. Well, welcome back. I'm excited to continue our conversation, and it is my honor and privilege to introduce our first guest. I know you're going to love her heart, her spirit, and what she is bringing into the world. I know that you will be enriched by. So I'm honored to introduce Dr. Lori Leyden. She has a PhD and an MBA. She is a visionary spiritual mentor, internationally recognized trauma healing pioneer, and she's been called to work in some of the most traumatized communities in the world, and has worked with those communities to bring forward amazing, remarkable results of healing and transformation. She's a powerful author who's absolutely passionate about helping you heal and embody grace. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Dr. Lori Leyden to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Where's the drum roll?
Oh, I was hearing it. So in my imagination, I could hear that. My hands are raised, excited to have you joining our virtual stage. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all who are tuning in.
Absolutely. And I wanted to start our conversation about why. Why is this work of helping people in this way, why is this work so personally important to you?
And how much time do we have? Yeah. I really got into this work in an effort to heal my own childhood traumas. And through my lifetime, many decades of taking workshops and doing therapy and all those things that we do to improve ourselves, I was always in search of what are the more elegant ways for us to heal. And I really believe that healing needs to be about our wholeness, not about our brokenness. And so I'm very passionate about helping people find the easiest ways for them to heal. And when I think about, what did I want most when I was a traumatized 12-year-old? It was to be seen, to be heard, to know that I mattered, to love and to feel safety and to have a bright future. And so I've always been a passionate advocate for young people's healing, which has led me actually around the country to some of the most traumatized communities, as you mentioned. And I continue to ask for what are the most elegant forms of healing, which we're discussing in my new book, Embodying Grace. And so that's really where it all started. And I believe that as we heal our traumas, the seeds of our passion and our destiny begin to emerge. And it certainly was true for me. And now I'm an advocate for young people healing.
Mm. Well, I love that, and that you have not only gone on your own healing journey, but that it has led to you being able to help so many others and bring forward your powerful book we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But before we get to that, so just something for everyone to be excited about, leaning into, but before, I'd love for you to talk about what is the Embodying Grace framework?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And it's funny because years ago, when this work started to emerge 20 years ago, I used to define grace. And now it's such a popular word, and it's not necessarily connected to religion, but to spiritual experience where we feel a sense of oneness, where we can feel a sense of transcendency, a sense of connectedness to all things, and it can be very quiet, and it can be also very spirited. So I love that this framework has emerged through me in my own efforts to heal. And it begins with understanding our heart-brain-body connection, which we can get to in a little more detail. But my work over the last 2 decades has shown me and proven to me that we are heart-wired for divinity, and that the core of this is in regulating our physiology, very much part of the Heart Math Institute research work. And so we have that heart-brain-body connection, and then we have the 5 stages of embodied grace, which are 5 stages that reveal where we are on our spiritual path and where we want to be. And for me, I didn't have that kind of heart map, as I call it, when I was pursuing my healing. And so it's amazing how people are able now to find themselves in one of those 5 stages and then realize what it is that they really want to accomplish in their spiritual growth work. And then the grace process formula is actually how we move from where we are to where we want to be in transcending our egos and being able to embrace living with grace, if that makes sense.
It does. And so some of what I'm hearing you say is that these, the framework and the heart-mind-body connection and some of this work helps people understand where they're at and where they want to go, and gives them a guide and a formula to keep moving on their own healing journey to really move forward powerfully. Is that a fair statement, or would you add something to that?
Absolutely. Yes, no question about it. I know that when I was in my beginning to search for answers to my traumas and healing, there wasn't a map for me. I mean, I read a lot of books and I took all the workshops and all of that, but the path was not clear to me. And so for the last 2 decades, people who have embraced this framework, which is really a lifestyle, have literally changed their lives.
Beautiful. I'm just making note of that lifestyle. I love that. So it's a way of living our life where we get to continue to move forward. So I love that, and heal and connect deeply. And this kind of brings me into talking about your book. I know you have this powerful book. I've had a chance to read an advanced copy and was deeply impacted by your book, Embodying Grace. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about this book, why you were led to bring it forward, and what are you hoping it does in the world? And I'd love for you to share the full title. So I'm giving you a long list. All of that I would love.
Thank you. It's called Embodying Grace, Trusting Yourself, Your Life, and Your Divinity. And this has been really a lifetime in process, but my goal is that as many people as possible who are on a spiritual journey can embrace the simplicity of what's in the book in a way that really allows people to trust themselves. When you think about, I think, the biggest cause of our wounds and traumas is not feeling safe in our own bodies. And so having tools to bring that physiological regulation so you feel peaceful in your body also helps you activate the highest part of your heart-brain-body connection, which really is the seat of all of our human gifts and divine gifts, the seat of our intuition, of problem solving, of creativity, of intuition, of that sense of connectedness, that sense of transcendency. And what would the world be like if everyone felt that sense of inner safety? I think the world would be a very different place. And this is what I'm passionate about, is getting this work into the hands of people who really need it and want it the most, and allowing them to feel that sense that they're not broken, we are whole. So let's heal into our wholeness. I'm not sure I answered all of your questions.
my list of questions. No, this is wonderful. I appreciate what you're sharing. I'm excited about your book, and I know that it's coming out on September 14th. So I encourage everyone to write that down. Make sure that you've got that on the calendar, and we're doing some special things around that launch. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about why that date's important.
Yes, indeed. Well, first of all, September is International Peace Month, and that week we chose for a reason, because it spotlights healing in our world, which this book is very much about. And what we know is that when we heal something in ourselves, it sets up a resonance field for that healing to unfold in our world. So on 9/14, we are going to be offering the Kindle version of Embodying Grace for a special price to get it into the hands of as many people as possible. That's $1.99 for that day, September 14th, and we'll be encouraging as many people as possible to tune in that day on social media and email to chart our progress in getting this into the hands of as many people as possible.
I love it. So you heard it here. Embodying Grace will be available in the digital format, 9/14. So make sure to put that on your calendar. For those of you who are feeling that pull, we would love for you to lean in. It'll be available on Amazon. We're also going to be promoting and sharing it out, so you can watch for our social media. And I know towards the end of the show, Dr. Lori is going to share how you can get on her list. So you'll be sent that beautiful link right into your inbox the day of, and be able to lean in and take advantage of that. And one question we get sometimes is about Kindle, that you actually do not have to have a Kindle device in order to enjoy a Kindle book. You just need to have some way that you connect with the internet and an account with Amazon, and then you're able to download and enjoy and read on whatever device it is that you use most. So you can enjoy that. And I'm excited for the release of your book. And for those of our listeners who are visual, Dr. Lori, can you describe your cover?
It is brilliant. It's so exciting. So it is earth and sky, and a person contemplating this beautiful infinity circuit in the sky. And I have this infinity circuit throughout the book. I believe that when there appears to be a giver and there appears to be a receiver, when we meet in the sweet spot in the middle, there's only love, and we're all transformed. And I believe that meeting in that sweet spot in the middle of the infinity circuit is where we connect with our divinity. So having this beautiful illustration on the book, I think just really invites people into this research that we can truly embody grace in our lifetime, and in doing so, really contribute to global healing, and that our very first responsibility is in service to our own healing first. So it's hard to describe. You just have to stay tuned.
It's beautiful. And is there a predominant color? Because I love the energy of it when I look at it and I see the figure kind of looking up into the sky. But what would you say the color theme is? More in the blues and purples, or?
I'm a blue-purple girl. It's just, that's, the color of the higher self, communication. But it beautifully weaves a rainbow of colors, I believe. And again, I think just looking at it is very inviting. And I hope that other people will feel the same.
Good. Well, I just wanted people on the day of to know this is the right book. And when they see the cover, they hear your voice and some of the descriptions and passion for it, and get to know that aspect of your book as well. Because the container of the book, there's so much thought and care that goes into that in the design to really build a bridge between the reader and the content. So I love that you love your cover, and it's so beautifully put together. So we're going to mark 9/14 on the calendar. Excited. And as we bring our segment to a close here, I had just a question. Is there, you say this phrase, and it can be a little bold or a little bit shocking to people, and I'd love for you to share what you mean by it. And you say the time for spiritual practice is over.
Yes, and I believe it. And really what I mean is that so much of what passes for spiritual growth can often be simply spiritual entertainment that leads to what I call spiritual bypass. And so, if you're doing your yoga and your meditation and your journaling, and you get off the yoga mat and you kick the cat or yell at your partner, you're not really embodying those spiritual practices. So what I'm really encouraging people in this way is, if you are not embodying your spiritual values, then something needs to shift. And so if we can imagine a world full of people who are literally embodying these spiritual values that we have. So I'm not saying abandon your spiritual practices, but the real issue is, are you embodying them? And how do you know you're embodying them? What is the evidence in your life, in your world, that you are embodying your spiritual practices? Does that make sense?
That is perfect. Thank you for sharing. I love that. And it's a perfect segue to our commercial break. So this is brilliant. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And I encourage you, as we enjoy these next 2 minutes, this commercial break, it's an opportunity for you to ponder those questions. What is the evidence? How are you seeing, or are you seeing that grace, that spiritual, those connections, those things that are important to you? Are you seeing that translate into your body, into the way you're being in the world? And it's a great question to ask with curiosity and see what bubbles up. And we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Birdie told me Voice America is on Twitter. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and discovered some interesting discoveries as you leaned in with curiosity. Perhaps you found, wow, I am embodying my beliefs and what's important to me more and more, and how encouraging is that? Or you may have found, I think I need to sit with that a little bit more. There is a disconnect, and I'm going to focus in on that. All good to discover and know and be purposeful and intentional in how we navigate and move forward. Now, our next guest, I'm very excited to introduce, and she's been on our show multiple times, but she may be new to you. So I'm very excited to introduce Janet Schmidt to you. She is an international best-selling author. She is getting ready to publish her new book, which I'm excited about. It'll also be in September. What a beautiful, powerful month of wonderful books coming forward. And her book is called Journey to Self-Awareness and Hope. She is passionate about helping you, about helping families with children that are perhaps struggling in school, helping you all connect more fully and move forward in love and purpose and intention. So please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and creative Janet Schmidt to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca, and hello to everyone out there.
Well, welcome back. Excited to have you joining us, and we are looking forward to your beautiful book that is coming forward. And I'd love for you to share, why is this something that is so important to you that you had on your heart to create this book and bring that forward? I'd love for you to share why this called to you in this way.
Well, I've always been one to want to really make a difference in other people's lives. That's been in every job that I ever took, no matter if it was being out in the field or sitting down at the desk. I always wanted to make a difference. So this book was personal because my son was diagnosed with 3 learning disabilities, reading, writing, and arithmetic. He really struggled, bless his heart, in school. And after they diagnosed him in the 6th grade, those 3, or tested him and determined he had those 3 learning disabilities, he went into what they call special education. Mm-hmm. Well, what my son needed was some discipline and some support. And special education, he came out with a bad taste in his mouth, that he was stupid, and his peers thought he was stupid. And so he kind of really backed off trying so hard. Mm-hmm. So we, as parents, sat down and thought about it and shared ideas, and we came up with a chart to help him understand better what needs to happen in order to achieve self-love and love for others. Mm-hmm. He was having some social difficulties, as I said. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to be sure to include both school and social.
Perfect. And I'm going to just stop you for a moment there because I just want to highlight a few things around what you shared. So, one, all the way to sixth grade, there was these struggles before the difficulties in those areas, the disabilities in those areas were discovered. And those are three really big areas that he is struggling with. And then moving into a new pathway, in a sense, through the school system, and some of what you discovered was happening there and his response, and that you and your husband came together and really have developed a way to help him and helped him grow in a full person, human way to really navigate life powerfully. And I think that is so powerful and profound. And that's some of where the chart that you're describing has come in. So with that, I just wanted to highlight a few of those things for our listener audience to give them just a container for some of this powerful information. So I'm handing the floor back to you as you continue to share. Sure. So why this book was created and some of what your journey was, and you're hoping that people learn from it.
Well, when we first got his diagnosis, we tried to figure out what all our options were in our community in order to help our child. But there were some options that were just cost prohibitive. We could not send him to a special school. We were a middle-class working family. There really wasn't anything available as far as tutors. We could use some technology to help him, like recording lectures and stuff like that. But he needed emotional support as well. And that is something that's a little hard to give in that kind of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So we kept telling him that there was a lot that was valuable with him, that he had gifts and talents that maybe just hadn't shown themselves yet, and that he needed to trust himself and trust that those things would come out. Mm-hmm. And in the end, everything would be okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, what a child wants to be told most of the time when they're hurting is that everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. It's going to work out. So one half of my chart is for the individual characteristics a child needs to develop in order to get to that self-love. Mm-hmm. And the other side of the chart is the social characteristics that a child needs to deliver to get to the self-love. And in the middle, everything that is kind of the glue is trust. Mm-hmm. So that is the big thing. You've got to trust in yourself. You've got to trust in some other people who seem to be willing to help and support you, or to surround yourself with good people. As a parent, that's partly your responsibility as well. Because
Perfect.
Sometimes they get into things they shouldn't, unknowingly at first. So you build the network of people around you, and then you have these other characteristics, such as independence, self-respect, respect for others, self-control, self-reliance, courtesy and patience with others, and kindness.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to jump in here again, and those are beautiful things that you were able to not just hold up and talk about, but help him bring forward in his life and partner in bringing forward and celebrate. And so as we fast forward through time in the journey, these are some of the things that you are now bringing forward and sharing in your book to help people really navigate those waters and be able to bring that information forward regardless of what the family and the child and children may be facing. If there are some struggles, that these are things that can really, skills that can help them navigate powerfully and confidently in love in life. So anything you would add to that?
Right. Well, love is very important, as we know. Mm-hmm. I mean, if children did not receive love or touch and were just put in a room and robots attended to them that had no warmth or you couldn't touch them very well, that would just about kill the baby off, because we are programmed for that. And you notice that a lot of people who may have attachment disorders and such, they are the people that suffer really badly because they don't have that connection.
Yeah. So a lot of what people will discover in this book, they're going to learn how to build more of that connection in their life. It gives them a bit of a roadmap or a chart to follow to really consciously and purposely bring these things forward. And I know one of the other things in your book you call a life map. So I just want to give people a little bit of a taste of what they can be excited about with your forthcoming book. So what is a life map?
Well, a life map is a visual drawing that contains events and important benchmarks in your life, as well as, well, first of all, you get to decide what you're going to put in there. I would suggest you even put your failures, because failures doesn't mean you're stupid or dumb or not able to do it. Failures means you're learning. And so you can learn from that. And you also learn not to go down that path again. If there was some dire consequences. You can use the life map to make decisions. You can use the life map to think about relationships. That's all discussed in the book. I put a lot of stories and anecdotes in my book to help people better understand how these characteristics, in a person can make a difference in their life.
Beautiful. Well, our time is going so quickly, Janet. My goodness, I'm excited about your book coming forward. I love the life maps. You give several examples, and they're very visual, of a way to really look at your life and appreciate and learn and see different things about it and in it. So I think that's a really powerful aspect that you have in the book. So can you share the full title of your book, when it's coming out, and a quick description of your cover for our visual listeners?
Sure. The full title is Journey to Self-Awareness and Hope. Discover how to accept, celebrate, and love yourself. My book is coming out, September 26th, I believe.
Correct. Yep, that is correct. That matches.
The launch date. I was afraid I was going to say the 25th.
No, you got it, 26th.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. But it's the 26th. I'm very excited. I want to see how people use these tools in the book. And what was the third thing? Oh, the cover. The cover is wonderful. It is an old road sign, and it has 3 different places to put a street name or a direction. And then you could put, it was like, so they put on there, and I forgot.
your title. Go ahead.
Journey to Self-Awareness and Hope. Yeah. They put that on there. That's really cool because it is a journey. There are many twists and turns. We are all unique individuals, and we should be happy about that because that makes us, special and able to do things that others can't.
Yep. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm excited for your book coming out. I love your cover as well. And that's September 26th. And I also got to read an advanced copy of this. And I love her life maps and the creativity that is brought into that, and what a unique and wonderful way to look at our lives. And I love that you encourage including what we see as failures as well, that those are learning opportunities and can create powerful shifts. So September 26th, it will be released out on Amazon in a digital format, special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. So we encourage you to write that date on the calendar, be watching for it. We'll also be promoting and share it. So the 2 dates we've shared today for these 2 powerful books are September 14th and September 26th. So make sure to mark those on the calendar. And as we go to our next commercial break, I want you to really think about, are you building into your life some of those sometimes seen as softer skills, that self-reliance and trust and confidence? Are those things that you have in your life and you're consciously building into your life, into those around you? And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have been enjoying our time together. I know that I have been. I hope you have a beautiful page of notes and thoughts and insights that you have captured in our time together. I encourage you to take a look at your notes at the very beginning of our time where you wrote down what it was that you need and are willing to receive. Just plug back into that and kind of see how that has shifted or moved forward for you. And that's a beautiful journey to continue throughout today. So at the end of the show, take a few moments for you. Don't just rush back into the day, but take some time, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and just breathe for a moment and then choose how you are going to step forward in alignment with what matters most to you. Breathing in and integrating what you have discovered and learned here today or been reminded of that can support you as you journey and step forward. A couple of the resources I want to make available to you and really have you lean into is I want you to be able to connect with our guests. So in a moment, I'm going to have you share their contact information with you. And I'm doing this on purpose for you to have it. Write it down, not just let it pass by you, but really take the opportunity to connect in with these guests. They are leaning into you. They're excited about their books they're bringing forward. And I hope you heard the heartbeat the message in between the beats of their heart as they shared what their desire is for you and their desire is for the world. So they're leaning into you. And for those you feel a pull, I encourage you to lean back and to take that opportunity to connect, to go deeper. So with that, I'm going to go around our virtual room, have each of our authors share their contact information, the title of their book one more time, and the date it'll be released, just to make sure everybody has that on their calendar. So with that, Dr. Lori, I'd love for you to start.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's been a pleasure to be with you, Rebecca and Janet. The title of my book is Embodying Grace, Trusting Yourself, Your Life, and Your Divinity. I have two opportunities for you to stay in touch. One is you can receive a free download of the 5 stages of embodying grace when you go to my website, www.drloryleyden.com. That's DrLoryleyden.com. You can also stay abreast of what's happening with the book launch, and that you can also get on the list to stay informed, and that website is www.embodyinggracebook.com.
Perfect.
Did I answer all the questions?
You did, and I'm just going to remind everybody that Dr. Lori's book will be out on September 14th. Special rate those first 24 hours, so I always like a deal, so I don't want anyone to say they wish they would have known. We're excited to share 9/14, so September 14th. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Janet, I'd love for you to share what is the best way for people to connect in, go deeper, and then give us the full title of your book and launch date again.
You can certainly contact me to get on my list at JASCHMIDT1258@gmail.com. When I grow up, I'm going to have a website too. I am grateful to be on the show today with Rebecca and Dr. Lori. And the title of my book is Journey to Self-Awareness and Hope. Discover how to accept, celebrate, and love yourself. It's being launched on September 26th. There will be a special rate of $1.99 for the Kindle version for 24 hours. I encourage you to at least take a look at it and see if it is of value to you. Thank you very much for your listening.
Wonderful. Well, thank you as well, Jenna, for joining us today. I so appreciate it. Excited about your book coming out on September 26th as well. So listeners, we're going to have a beautiful September with lots of support out there and tools that are being made available to us. So I hope that you're excited and leaning in. And I want to give all of you an extra credit bonus challenge today, gold stars included, an opportunity. So as I mentioned, as we're entering this final segment, I really encourage you to take a few moments before you transition right into the day. And what I would encourage you to do is to use those few moments to reflect back on the notes. If you didn't take notes, that's okay. There's not going to be a test. But I encourage you to just take a moment and reflect back on what was shared. Because there's a reason you tuned in. There's a reason you joined us today. And I want you to have an opportunity to really take that in on a cellular level, to integrate it. Not just add it to your to-do list. Oh, someday, yes, I'm going to do that. Maybe someday. But instead, today, be that. Breathe it in. Have it become part of you. Give yourself the gift of those 3 to 5 minutes to really take in what serves. Breathe out what no longer does. As we do that individually and collectively, it creates a shift in how we are and how we are being. So taking that pause, give yourself time to process integrate, and then step out into the world beautifully empowered, on purpose, with movement and intention in all that you do, fully embodying who you are and what you're wanting to bring forward. So as you go forward today and every day, I hope that you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.